Hello, John McConnin here with underwaterrealestate.com and favoriterealestate.com and upsidedownrealestate.com. I'm an attorney and a realtor, and we're going over this is part 2 of our initial videos on the series of short sales. Later, we're going to get more into other details about short sales, but here we are. What are the qualifications for a typical realtor negotiated short sale? Let me just say I am an attorney, and we've done over 100 short sales, and this is just the typical things. We can, an experienced person who can get some leverage against the banks can sort of eliminate these requirements or get around them with proper negotiation and proper positioning of your package. But typically the value of the house is dropped. The mortgage is usually not being paid. It's much more difficult to negotiate a short sale while the client's current. But we understand for security reasons and resume reasons, some people cannot accept going into default, and for those people, there are options. You need to speak with an attorney about your other options to get short sales negotiated if you need to stay current. Go to the next page now. What are the qualifications? Usually you have to show a hardship, but not always. The seller has no assets. Well, that's a very, very critical piece of information. You need to position your short sale package so it's acceptable to the bank. And you need to, and we advise all our clients to tell the truth. Now, what if you have assets or what if you have income? Well, that's where experience and negotiations and leverage come into play. We sometimes send legal letters to the banks explaining why that information being requested is inappropriate given the law, or we'll send in a qualified written request under RESPA. We will try to get away from the negotiator's desk to the legal department. There's just myriad issues and myriad ways around them for experienced people. And we know it works with different banks too. Different banks are going to put up different roadblocks, and they have different requirements. I can tell you this though, if you have assets or income and you've got recourse loans, you have to be very careful because 75% of realtor negotiated short sales fail. And if you just turn over your asset picture to the banks, like most realtors will across, they'll tell you, here, fill out the short sale package, then they hand it to the bank. You've just handed a roadmap over to your assets, which one, might not help you get the short sale approved. And two, if it does cause a denial or you don't get the short sale done anyway, which you have a 75% chance with most realtors, you've just made it far easier for them to classify you and make your loan more valuable for a resale to a collection agent. And you have to be careful about these things. Short sale is different from a normal sale. I'd say you can read all this stuff. Pricing is definitely a different mindset. Realtors who were the neighborhood realtor are extremely interested in keeping their houses pigeonholed. And if they've got some non-short sales and some short sales, they don't want to drop the price. I mean, we see in places like Rancho Santa Fe where half the place is for sale, you see these couple of realtors having the prices all lined up, stacked. So how can they tell a new agent, hey, if you need to get your short sale sold now, we got to go down to market value, changing the whole stack. I mean, if you're in a short position, you need to get the property sold. You don't need to worry about how your realtor, who cares about his client's values and maybe even his own or her own, thinks about pricing. You've got to get to the pricing. You've got to convince the negotiators. You've got to convince the appraisers that this is the price that gets the property sold at, not those fictional prices from 5 years ago, minus a little bit. So home pricing is vital. You can't be you can't take an investor who thinks he can buy the house at 60 cents on the dollar. You have to know the ranges. You have to know how to get it done. Marketing. Again, you need to market for buyers that are actually going to close. Market for buyers who might be able to keep a little wiggle room so they can negotiate with the second. It's a different animal. You need to work with someone who's done 20 or 30 of these things so they can show they actually have negotiated all the differences, because there are many. There are manifold differences. You can market to other MLS agents, but you have to make sure they know what they're doing. This is going to be on the next video. Thanks, John McConnin, favoriterealestate.com.